Hopefully this mic. Hello. All right, yeah, looks good. Just getting some things set up here. All right. That's good. We're getting some things set up here real quick. Hope everyone's doing great on this beautiful Sunday morning. All right. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. First game we got, it's kind of an early game, 1 o'clock. And that's Denver at Boston, Nuggets at Celtics. So Nuggets are sitting 31-28 against the spread. Celtics are 26-34. Total opened at 237.5, and the Celtics are favored by 2.5 points at home. Nuggets are 35-24 to the over. The Celtics are 27-33 to the under. I added another stat right here, rebound percentage. Not because I'm salty about Max Christie not getting his rebounds last night, but I added it there because I think it's super helpful, and it would help me if I was researching. So, or when I'm researching, like I am now. So you see a lot of green here. Nuggets are 9th in power rankings. Celtics are 3rd. Pace of play, Nuggets play faster, Celtics play a little slower. Both teams are top 5 in offensive efficiency, but only the Celtics are top 5 in defensive efficiency. But the Nuggets out rebound. They are 2nd in the league for rebound percentage, meaning they grab most rebounds out of pretty much anybody, all but one really, team in the league. So looking down here, Nuggets offense versus the Celtics defense, they are loaded. The Nuggets 3rd in total points scored, 1st in field goal percentage, super efficient with scoring. Their rebounds 3rd on the offensive side, and the assists they're 1st for that, but they don't shoot well beyond the arc, and they don't attempt them very often either. So 30th in 3-point attempts, 28th in the league for 3 points made. Moving over here to the Celtics defense, almost equally as good, really. 3rd in total points on total points allowed, 3rd in field goal percentage, 15th in rebounds, so middle of the league there, 3rd in assists, and 3rd in 3 points made. And if you come down here to the bottom right, Nuggets defense, they are rebounding on both sides of the ball, which makes sense because they are 2nd in rebound percentage. Up here, Nuggets defense, Celtics offense. Nothing too crazy. Celtics offense is 6th in total points scored, though, so that is notable. 12th in rebounds, whereas the Nuggets are 4th. Nuggets defense is 3rd in assists allowed, and Celtics kind of middle of the league there. However, the Celtics are 1st in 3-point attempts and 1st in 3 points made. So they attempt a lot of 3-pointers and they make a lot of them. A lot of green. Exactly, yeah. So over here to expected lineups for this game, we got Jaylen Brown, who's a game time decision, and Aaron Gordon. Looking here, Kinkar, Watson are both out. They've been out for a minute. Najee is a game time decision, and we see Gordon is as well. Holiday, Porzingis, nothing too crazy new there. Jaylen Brown. All right, so here's a starting lineup. Let's go to defense versus position now. So for this game, if we can find any that match on both sides, that would be ideal. So assists to White, points and assists and threes to Brown. No, so all we got is Hauser and Tatum, and points to Hauser and rebounds to Tatum. So we're gonna look into points to Hauser. And it's not letting me research that. It's fantastic. So, yep. Well, that's all for that game. It's kind of a bummer because it's probably going to be the best game of the day. All right. Well, no picks though, but should be a good game. Let's go to the other one. Let's hit another one. Yeah. Yep. So next one, Blazers at Cavs. So Blazers are sitting 34-26 against the spread. Cavs are 39-19. Very impressive coming from the Cavs. Total sitting a little high for a Cavs game at 232. They are favored by 10.5. Blazers are 30-29 to the over. Cavs are 39-20 to the over. So both teams pretty crazy. Blazers are 12th power rankings, almost middle of the league. Cavs are 2nd. And, I mean, excuse me, Cavs are really top 10 or right outside top 10 in a lot of these categories. Pace of play, offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, and rebound percentage. Just outside, 11, 1, 7, 11. Like, whereas it's over here, the Blazers are kind of bottom half of the league and everything. So, coming down here, same thing, top 10 in all these categories. Points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers. At Cavs defenses. Blazers offense, bottom half of the league in all of these, especially assists. Now going here to the Cavs offense. They 2nd in total points scored, 2nd in field goal percentage, 5th in assists, and 2nd in three-pointers made. However, the Blazers defense is good against defending the three-pointers right there. So, give and take there. Going to the lineups. Projected starting lineups by RotoWire. Right here, Avdija and Grant are both game time decisions. Nothing too crazy over here except for Donovan Mitchell. He's ruled out for today's game. Action. Okoro, Jerome, Merrill, and Hunter are all candidates for increased roles. Yeah, it's like the whole secondary. So, nothing too crazy on Cleveland side. There are a lot of people out. So, Ayton is out. And I think he's been out for a second because Klingen's played. Minaya, Thibault, and Williams are all out. Also, yeah, that forward position, they are they're struggling, as well as the center, honestly, with Williams out. But going into defense versus position for this, not a whole lot of stats really. Struss, rebounds, assists, and we see him here for rebounds, so we are going to give that a look. You guys want me to mirror my screen up here so you can see kind of what I'm going through? But if not, whatever. So yeah, Max Struss, 40% last 5. Not loving that. Not loving that at all. Yeah, let's get rid of that. So on to the next one. Allen for assists, and we see Allen for assists down here. Yeah, last 5 is 0%. He hasn't hit that once last 5. However, last time he played him, he got 2. He's only averaging 1.9 this season. I don't love that either, to be honest with you. Let's not do that. All right. Yeah. So don't love that. Let's go to the next game. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. All right, right here. Nuggets Celtics. All right, so while we're here, we're going to be hitting the unders as well. So we're going to go down Nuggets Celtics game on the unders. All right, see if we find any mismatches here. Now we're looking, okay, White for rebounds. I mean, White, Brown, and Hauser for rebounds, really. And we see Brown for rebounds, so we're going to look at him for under. Nope, no. The line's too low. He actually does pretty good rebounding against Denver in the past. Now we're going to look at so Horford for rebounds and assists, and I see him for threes up here, so nothing too crazy. Now let's go down to Boston. We see Murray for assists and threes right here. Points and threes, so the overlap is with the threes. So Jamal Murray. All right, so he has hit. Oh, nope. Yeah, we're looking at unders. I don't love that. I don't like that at all. He's hit 80% last 5, 60% last 10. However, versus them, he typically doesn't do great. Now if we look at Murray's, so Denver's offense versus the Celtics defense over here, they're also not efficient at shooting threes. They don't shoot a lot, they don't make a lot, right? So with Jamal Murray, I'm kind of surprised his last 5, he's averaging almost 5 3-points made a game. That's pretty crazy when they're here and the Celtics defense is here. So should be a tough one. Let's keep pushing. Got a lot of games. This is only the first one. So Braun, points, threes. And I see Braun for assists. So nope, no overlap there. Porter Jr. for points. And I see him for points and threes. So Michael Porter Jr. So he is 40% for last 5, 20% hit rate versus Boston. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, he's... Hmm. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen up here real quick with you guys. I'm gonna share my screen so you can kind of see what I'm looking through. And it's I'll just pull this in and out when need be, though. So, yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. Michael Porter Jr. basically, yeah, for under, it is a little juice, but for good reason. He's averaging only 12.6 points against them. Recently, he's averaging 15.6 with a pretty crazy game against Detroit, playing 38 minutes. Recently, I mean, against 50% last 10, and this season 48%. So he is going to be matched up. Yeah, so with Hauser, one game with him, went under by just 3 points. Only really gone over with him playing one time. So it'll be interesting to see. Nuggets offense third, Celtics defense third. Great matchup on both sides of the ball, really, for offense and defense. So, man, I think the Celtics, yeah. So that's tough. Tough one. Michael Porter Jr. We can that's it. PJ. Why not? So, under 17.5 points. Not a bad. I wouldn't say that's too bad, honestly. Kind of like that one. So, that's what we got here. Now looking at over here, so points, Michael Porter Jr. fourth points. All right, Jokic for points and assists. And we see Jokic down here for points. It's risky business fading Jokic. Last 4 games against him, he did pretty well. But last 5 is kind of wishy-washy. I don't know. Don't love it. However, I'm sure he does fantastic against Al Horford or... Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. So... Now... Do we go through Horford? Yeah, Horford for 3s. Yeah. So, all right. Now we're finished with that one. On to the next one, Blazers, Cavaliers. We already went through this for the most part. And I think we went through the overs. There weren't very many, so now we're on the unders here. So, getting into this, you got total sitting a little high. Cavs are favorited by 10, and they are at home. Both teams pretty decent against the spread, where the Cavs are a lot better. And the over for them. So, all right, let's go. Garland for 3s. If he's down here, nope. Okoro assists. Yep. So we're gonna come here. Come on. That's crazy. Let me restart the app. Yeah, he's just not coming up. Oh, well. Now we're looking at Struss for 3s. I do see points for Struss. Rebounds and 3s for Mobley. And I do see rebounds to Mobley, where they allow the least recently. So third least this season, the least rebounds to Mobley recently. Let's see if his line is cooked. All right, so yeah, so man, he's like up, down. You think this game's gonna be down, right? Man, 13-8, 13-8, 12. And then even against them, 11-8, 12-8, 12-8. That's crazy. Not liking that one either. So all right, we looked at Mobley. He was the last one here, so now we're looking at Cleveland versus so rebounds to Simmons. And we see rebounds to Simmons. He's also a point guard. Yeah, but he only needs 3. Don't like that. Moving on. Kamara for assists down here. And up here we do see Kamara for assists. And he's way too low. His line got pushed way too low. So Grant and Klingen. So Grant for threes and Klingen for points. Don't see Grant, but I do see Klingen for points. So, first glance, it does look like there's some value here. There is some value. He's only hit once. Obviously, we're going to do without some of these people. Deal without Ayton. Yeah. Yep, so he's only hit over 3 times, even without the people that are out. It's an interesting one there. I mean, I don't... Let's see what they do, what centers do versus Horford, 5 points, him 9 points. Tadze, 23, Claxton, 8, Jonathan, 8. He is holding these centers pretty well. But you know what? I think we're going to make note of this, and we're going to place him on the unders. So, who's this? Who's this? Looking at Klingen. Let's see if we can do like see if we can see a identify any more value with Klingen. Maybe rebounds, assists. His assists look okay. So points, rebounds actually look better. Points, rebounds, and assists, yes, to look better. Rebounds and assists really look the best, yeah. So we're looking at him for just under points. All right, on to the next. And we just did Klingen. So we are on to the next game, which is Bulls at Pacers. So we're going to move back up here to the overs. Chicago, Indiana. This game's at 5 o'clock today. The last game's at 3:30. So, yeah, this game's at 5 today. And Bulls are 30-28 against the spread. Pacers are 33-25. Total sitting pretty high at 244. Pacers are favored by 9.5 at home. Bulls are 30-30 even. Pacers are 34-24 to the over. When you look over here, both teams, nothing crazy for power rankings. Pace of play, the Bulls are 3rd, Pacers are 9th. Offensive efficiency, Pacers have an advantage there at 7th. Defensive efficiency, the Bulls are bottom 5, whereas the Pacers are bottom 10, so not much better in that aspect. The Pacers rebound percentage, 28. They do not rebound very well, but neither do the Bulls, sitting there at 24. So both teams not too great in that aspect. Looking at the Bulls offense to the Pacers defense, total Bulls offense, total points scored 9th in the league. Pacers bottom 10. The Bulls offense for rebounds and assists are 8. So they're top 10 in both those categories and top 10 in total points scored. So not a horrible offense here. And if you're looking at threes, they're 3rd in the league for 3 points made. And they do attempt a lot of them. But the Pacers aren't too bad against threes, where they are top 10 for those categories. Going down here to the Bulls defense, is where it gets ugly. 2nd worst for total points allowed, 2nd worst for rebounds allowed, 29th for assists allowed, and middle of the league for 3 points made. Whereas the Pacers offense, 10th in total points scored, 4th in field goal percentage, and 3rd worst for rebounds though, and 6th best for assists. So nothing nothing too crazy. We're going to spacers. So right here, decent amount of injuries for the Bulls. Buzelli's is in. Ball, White, Giddy. So a lot of the typical people are going to be playing. Maturin is out. Missed a couple games at least. Yeah, so he should be out for the next 2 or 3 games. There's some new Vucevic. So guard, center, and forward are all out for Chicago. All right. On to defense versus position. So we're going to cross-reference these, see if there's anything crazy. We're going to start down here. Halliburton for threes, and he is up there for threes. So, all right, 80% last 5, but he doesn't do very well against them. And we will see 80%, but against them, not too well. So we will go over here. Nembhard for assists and 3 points. Nembhard, threes is all I see him for. Yep, his line's at 1, so cooked. Minus 214 for over 1. Don't like that. Now we're going to Naismith for rebounds and Turner for rebounds. So I see Naismith for assists, not rebounds, and I do see Turner, but not for rebounds. So on to Indiana. Buzelli's for points and rebounds, but neither of them down here. All right, let's go to the unders. Not a whole lot in the unders, so the least 3's to Naismith and the least 3's to Naismith. And then his line is pretty low, so 1.5. I don't feel comfortable taking that. We're gonna look at rebounds to ball. I do see rebounds to ball. And this is on the under sheet, so not terrible. I think, yeah, it's definitely a little high. So he did, but the over. He's averaging less rebound chances. He's a point guard. And his under says it's plus 128. I like that. So we'll put him down. I'm gonna lock in real quick. Gotta have out. We got a link in the description if you want 10% off of these. Let's keep it going. All right. Smith. Okay. So we got Lonzo Ball under 3.5 rebounds. And these like aren't official plays. These are like initial looks I like, right? And then I'll go back at the end and kind of refine them and see which ones I really like, if the price is worth what the price is worth, if the price is right. So yeah, all right. Rebounds to ball. Nothing for Buzelis. On to the next game, Knicks at Heat. So we are looking at the overs for Knicks at Miami. Too crazy. So Knicks are 30-28 against the spread. Heats are 33-25. Total sitting 224.5. Knicks are favored by 5.5 away. Knicks are 33-25 to the over. Heat are 32-26. Looking over here at power rankings, nothing too special. Both are middle of the league or worse. The Heat play a slow game, and I mean the Knicks do too. Offensive efficiency, Knicks are third best in the league, something good. And rebounds down here, they are 9th for rebound percentage, so they do that quite well. Heat on this, just kind of middle of the league, worse on most of these, middle of the league on the rest. The Knicks offense down here, 5th in total points scored, where the Heat's defense not too far off at 7th in points allowed. This kind of a mismatch here. Knicks offense for assists, 11th. Heat's for defending, that's kind of 21st. So something there. Both teams not too great at 3-pointers, 20th, bottom 10 of the league. Going down here to the Knicks defense. They're first for rebounds. The Heat's offense is 19th. So nothing too crazy. And even like the rest of the stats, nothing really sticks out to me. Pretty average total as well. Starting lineup, Porty's out. He's from the bench. Jovic's out. And Wiggins and Jacquez are doubtful, I believe. Yeah, so unlikely to play. Okay. So, looking at defense versus positions for the overs. Let's do... All right. Brunson for assists and Anunoby for threes. Let's pull this up for you. His line's way high. Last 3, he did decent against him, 8, 10, and 9. But if you look at his last 5, he's kind of struggling recently. Only averaging 6.6. That's not a great sign there. So then we're moving on to the next, which was... We said Brunson for threes. No. And Anunoby for threes. And, okay. I do like this, although it is fairly juiced at minus 188. Don't love that. But sometimes perhaps that cash odds are wrong. If you look down here, 1.5 sitting at 188 across a lot of books. BetMGM looks to have right there minus 165 the best pricing for that. If that's something you wanted to play. So on to the next. Oh, sorry. Let's get it here. Now, going back up here. I mean, let's look at his 3-point attempts. So is he attempting more 3-point attempts? 5.8 recently. Whereas the season 5.8. So he's even. 5.8 versus him. That's crazy. So minutes, no change in minutes. 31.9, 36. So he's playing significantly less recently, or last 5. Yes. I don't know why that is. That coupled with the juice on this, I don't think we're going to take that. So on to the next one, which is for this. So now we're on to the Knicks. So Hero for rebounds and assists. And we don't have any Knicks last 7 stats down here. Nothing to cross-reference, really. Or we don't have any Knicks season stats, I should say. So, all right. To the under we go. All right. least rebounds out of Atlanta. So what we do see is threes to Mitchell and rebounds to Ware. Unders juice for Mitchell. Khalil Ware. Interesting here. So yeah. Man. Minus 140. Yeah, don't like that either. Like I said, we got a lot of games to get through, so we're gonna kind of keep pushing. So down here, Miami, points to Brunson. We see rebounds to Brunson. So points and threes to Bridges. Points and threes to Bridges. Don't like threes. Oh my God, don't like points either. His points line has been pushed down way too low. So on to the next. Hart for rebounds. And Towns. Yeah, so Hart for rebounds, really. %, last 5. Do you see something crazy against them? And I don't like the 80% last 5. All right. Moving on to the next game. We have Raptors at the Magic. Not a lot of overstats, which makes sense. So Raptors are 30-28 against the spread. Magic are 33-25. Total is sitting at 211, extremely low. Magic are 6.5 favorites at home. Raptors 30-29 to the over. Magics are a whopping 23-38 to the under. Both teams decent, not too great in power rankings. And as you can see, Magic's pace of play, the slowest in the league. Offensive efficiency, 3rd worst in the league. But their defensive efficiency, 3rd best in the league. And their offensive efficiency, 5th worst in the league. Yeah. Not great pace of play. Very slow. And terrible offensive efficiency. But they make up for it on defense, as you can see down here. Magic's defense, 1st in points allowed, 2nd in rebounds allowed, 2nd in assists, and 1st in 3 points allowed. Now, so down here, the only thing that really stands out to me, Raptors offense, top 10 for assists, 2nd worst for 3-point attempts and 3 points made. Nothing too crazy here. Over here, their defense, defending assists is about the only thing. Everything else are about middle of the league or worse. Magic's offense, absolutely garbage on the offensive side of the ball, not producing very much at all. The worst in points scored, 4th worst in rebounds, 28th for assists, and last in the league for 3 points made. So they don't shoot very often or very good beyond the arc. Going over here to defense versus positions, right off the bat, nothing we can mismatch, but I'm suspecting we're gonna have a few on the underside. So All right. A lot of stats to get through. We're going to start with Toronto. So, Toronto is assist to Anthony. When we go down here, we do not see assist to Anthony. Rebounds and assists to Caldwell Pope. And we do see threes to Caldwell Pope. That doesn't match. Now into Orlando's defense, really. So we see Grady for points and threes. And up here, we do see him for the least points, the least threes. So we're going to check him out. All right. Here for points, he scored 17 against them just on January 21st. Last 5, he's averaging 10 points a game. His line is sitting at 11.5 with some action on the under, of course. Take a look at his 3 points made. Yeah, that line got pushed way down. So let's go back to points. I think that's probably going to be the most value here. And yeah, the least recently, we can do. Yeah, I don't love that. Points probably looks like the best line. I am a little concerned he did hit 17 against them. If we do check the starting lineups over here, a lot of people out. So one guard, Temple, he's coming off the bench though. So let's see his playing time. Back to this. Minutes. He's sitting at averaging 31 minutes recently, 29.6, so about a minute more than he typically does. Versus them, however, January 3rd, he only got 8 points. His line's sitting super low. But recently he's only averaging 10.6. That coupled with them literally being the best versus his position. Let's just do this for... So he does average 13 with these people out. I'm guessing Agbaji. And he is out. So I don't like that he did 17 against him before. So we're going to move on to the next. And threes, we already looked at his threes. Don't like that. So Scotty Barnes for assists, the least. He is. All right. Nope. Don't like that. Now we're going to look at Weddle. Points, rebounds, assists. Points, assists, and threes. So points, a little low. Points plus assists. Not too much better, to be honest with you. How about this? And we're on the unders. All right. Don't love that. We are moving on. Let's hit. All right. So we looked at Barnes. Weddle, assists, threes. Yep, don't like that. Moving on really to the next game. Thunder's at Spurs. All right. Thunder's at Spurs. Let's get into this game, boys. All right. A cup of coffee. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Sunday morning. Let's keep pushing. So, right off the bat, I do see Paul for threes and rebounds. It's crazy there. Moving on to SAS. Wallace for rebounds. Don't see him down here. So Dort for rebounds. See Dort for rebounds. So we're going to, look closer into that one. And his line got pushed up way high. He had 12 rebounds last time he placed him down here. Take a look at this. 12 rebounds. Kind of crazy. Last 5. He got 4 against Atlanta. And they are allowing. So let's do a quick game rundown here. So Thunder's 30-28 against the spread. Spurs are 33-25. Total sitting pretty high, 239.5. Thunders are 13-point favorites. Thunder are 34-25 to the over. Spurs are 29 and 27 to the under. Thunder first in the power rankings, 12th in pace of play, 5th offensive efficiency, 1st in defensive efficiency, but 26th in rebound percentage. They don't rebound very well. Spurs are kind of middle of the road in all of those categories. Thunder 4th in total points scored, down here middle of the league for rebounds and assists. Their offenses, and top 10 for 3-point attempts and 3 points made. Over here to the Spurs defense, 28th in rebounds. So they don't rebound very well on the defensive side of the ball. And middle of the league for offensive side of the ball. 22nd in rebound percentage too. So when we're looking at Dort for rebounds, that's kind of an issue there. Neither team does very well rebounding. Thunder's defense, they are 2nd in total points allowed and 5th in assists allowed. So not loving that there just because of that stat. Mixed with Dort, 20% last 5. So Williams for rebounds and Hartenstein for points. Again, not doing well recently. Kills it against him. He's just not doing well recently. Don't like that. Red flag there. Hartenstein for points is what we're looking at now. Don't like that either. We are yeah, that was the last stat here. Going to the unders. We're really just gonna speed through these. We're gonna speed through the rest of these, honestly. There's yeah. So some overlap here. Paul, rebounds, points up here. So Vassal for points and rebounds, and we see him for assists here to overlap there. SGA down here for threes. Don't see him up here at all. So no overlap at all on the underside, which means we are moving to the next game. That is Pelicans and Jazz. Pelicans are 30-28 against the spread. Jazz are 33-25. Total sitting pretty high at 233.5. Pelicans are favored by 5.5 at home. Pelicans are 34-25 to the over. Jazz are 34-24 to the over as well. Pelicans, Jazz both sitting bottom 5 in power rankings. Pace of play, Pelicans are 10th. Jazz are middle of the league. Moving down here, defensive efficiency. Both teams bottom 3. Pelicans third worst. Jazz the worst in the league. Rebounds. So here's the mismatch right here. Pelicans 27th in rebound percentage, and Jazz are 5th in rebound percentage. So that's an advantage we can keep in mind when we're looking at the defense versus position sheets. Moving down here to the Pelicans offense versus the Jazz defense. So the Jazz defense 27th in defending points, but the Pelicans offense doesn't really produce a whole lot. They're 22nd in points scored. Looking down here to rebounds right here, we can see their rebound percentage is pretty good. So 8th here and 5th. So 8th on the defensive side, 5th on the offensive side for rebounds on the Jazz. Whereas the Pelicans 23rd, 27th for rebounds, offense, defense. Nothing too crazy there. Jazz defense is bad at defending assists and terrible at 3 points made. They don't shoot a whole lot. They don't make a whole lot of threes. Or they allow the most, and they allow the most attempts, and they allow the most 3 points made, I should say. Going down here to the Pelicans defense, bad in every single category, literally bottom 5 in points, rebounds, assists, and 3 points allowed. Whereas the Jazz offense, an advantage here at the rebounds and beyond the arc, sitting at top 10 there. Moving on to defense versus positions. Let's go over here. I know Pete, Utah, so we're at the least. Let's go over to the over sheet. Lots of stats, an insane amount of stats. All right. That's good right there. See if we see any repeats, overs, and unders. A lot of new names here for the Pelicans. I'm assuming a lot of people are out. Yeah, Boston's out. No, right here. Sorry, Utah. A lot of new names for Utah. A lot of people out. Ugh, this is could be a little tough to handicap here. Let's go here. All right. So, Pelicans allow Collier. I don't even see him on the bottom. Juzang for rebounds and assists. And we see him for assists and threes. So Juzang for assists. If we can even research that on PropSite Cash. No, we cannot. So Sensabaugh for points, threes. And we see him for points and threes. And we can research him. So points. Absolutely terrible. Threes. So terrible. Makes sense because he's typically not a starter, but now he's starting. 23, 26, 22, 22 are his minutes in the last 5 games. Martin for threes. Filipowski points, rebounds. And we see him down there for rebounds. We also see Martin for threes. Nope. And then so when Filipowski is really, honestly, when he's played more than like what, 15 minutes, he's gone over quite a bit, and he is projected to start today with Kessler out. See if we can read a little bit more on this. So they're saying expect him to see even 15 minutes. As Kessler, he did play 38 minutes. So I mean, that really all depends on how often he's going to, if we think he's going to play. $20 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 36 minutes during Mondays. Lost to the Trailblazers. Yeah, so. And then he just played, so he played 36 minutes against Trailblazers, 22. So, but still got 13 against Minnesota, which is pretty good at rebounding, right? So if we're looking over here, Kessler was in. That's with Kessler. We back out right here. Boom. Minutes, 37, 36. Kessler came back for that last game right here. So that's where he sees 22 minutes. But this guy still rebounds 13. Now he's facing the Pelicans. The worst this season. The worst recently. Terrible across the board. I think Filipowski gets 10 rebounds. And that actually might be play of the day, boys. Filipowski over 9.5 rebounds. All right, now that we found one play of the day, potentially, let's speed through the rest of these. But let's take the rest of this into account. So he is on. Look out, he's on the Jazz, right? And they got a lot of players out. I expect him to start today. I expect him to play a lot of minutes. And looking over here, the Jazz are also 5th in rebound percentage against the Pelicans, 27th in rebound percentage. I love this play. Everything about this play, love it. That's probably play of the day. And I am actually, I'm going to go lock that in right now. I'm going to look at FanDuel. Guys, make sure you subscribe, like if you guys like what we're doing, if you guys like these. We're going to try and, in the future, do videos and put the videos out in the morning with all this stuff filled out here. And some defense versus position stats that we think you should look out for the next day. So you guys can kind of wake up, watch it in the morning. It'll be like 10 to 14 minutes typically. Today's just a huge slate. So that's why I didn't have enough time to do all this. It's extremely time consuming. We do appreciate you guys tuning in though. And I hope everyone's having a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. But let's go look at Filipowski's rebound lines on FanDuel and ESPN. FanDuel minus 118. Gore forever. Love that. Okay, appreciate that. I'm gonna go to ESPN bet real quick, see if it's even better. DraftKings minus 125. All right. I'm looking at ESPN. Minus 125 on ESPN. So the best value looks like it's on FanDuel. Yeah, so minus 118 on FanDuel. Shout out Gore Forever. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for watching and thanks for interacting and commenting. That's great. I'm gonna go lock that in now. So far, that's play of the day. And that's the only one we've locked in. Over 9.5. That's locked in. All right, minus 118. Filipowski over 9.5 rebounds. I got that. All right. Let's go back to here and keep pushing. Let's keep researching. We're researching the entire slate. It's kind of boring. If you guys have any like recommendations on how to make it better, what you guys want to see, you guys are my best resource on telling me like, hey, we want to see more of this. So then I can do that. I don't want it to be boring for you guys. I want something that you guys look forward to tuning in the morning, on the weekends, and when you have time to. So, yep, absolutely. All right, love that pick. Love that pick. So feeling a little better about today now. Finding some value. All right, let's go to the next stat on the line. So Filipowski points, rebounds. I didn't like him as much for points, rebounds. I don't like to say a lock, but it's you know, the closest we've gotten so far. Let's hit. All right, we're on to Utah. So, and a lot of these stats, it's crazy because if you look at this, the defense versus position, I mean, projected starting lineups from RotoWire, all their starters are out. Everyone's out. So it is kind of hard. We do got to take that into account when we are looking at these because these stats are from the season and then recently. So potentially, I mean, I'm surprised that it's actually so close. I'm surprised that the spread up here is 5.5. I mean, yeah. Totals 233 because of the defensive efficiency right there. So, whatever. We'll still try and look at this stuff. So, McCollum points, assists. We see him up here, and then we see him for rebounds down here. Nothing that overlaps. Murphy for points, rebounds, and assists, and 3 points made. Murphy for assists. So, while we're doing that, we also have assists right here. Pelicans offense 20th. So they are bottom half of the league in actually doing assists, actually making assists. But the Jazz defense is worse. Bottom 3 for assists allowed. 60%. He doesn't do well against them. So we are moving on to the next. Williamson points, assists, and threes down here. And we see him for points and threes right here. Points is decent. Doesn't do great against them. 3 points made, obviously not very well there either. Missy for threes, and we see Missy for threes. But he's a center, so I don't know how much he really shoots. Let's see. Yeah, not too great. So, yeah. Yep. Now on to the unders. Not a whole lot of stats for unders, kind of good. Sensabaugh, whatever. Williamson for rebounds. Don't see either of them on there. So, we're going to go. The final 2 games. Final 2 games. Okay. We got Clippers at the Lakers. So Clippers are 30-28 against spread. Lakers are 33-25. Total sitting league average at 220. Lakers are favored by 1.5 points at home. Clippers 26-32 to the under. Lakers 27-31 to the under as well. That's probably why we see league average. Both around top 10 for power rankings. Nothing too crazy. Lakers are right outside top 10 for offensive efficiency. Clippers are 4th best in the league for defensive efficiency. 8th best for rebound percentage, so they rebound quite well, whereas the Lakers don't really. They're 20th. Going down here to the Lakers defense, top 10 in total points allowed, right outside top 10 in rebounds, and middle of the league for 3 points. Going over to the Clippers offense, nothing really sticks out to me. Bottom of the league in a lot of these things, bottom half, but they are 5th worst for 3 points made. Now to the Clippers defense. They are 4th in points allowed, 5th in rebounds allowed, 6th in assists allowed. They do great in all those aspects. The Lakers offense really middle of the league, bottom 5 in rebounds, and middle of the league in assists. With that being said, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups here. Clippers, Lakers. So a couple people's out. Flowers, Jones, I think those guys are coming off the bench. Reeves is out for the Lakers. Goodwin coming off the bench. Hachimura's out, and Kleber is out. James and Doncic are, game time decisions. Now on to defense versus position. So for this one, we're looking at overs. No overlap there. We're gonna look at some unders. All right, looking at the unders, we're going to say Vincent for points, rebounds, assists, under. And then down here, we got him for points, rebounds, and assists for the under. That's kind of crazy. So, going to restart my app real quick. I think that's Gabe Vincent, so... Yes, let me research him. Oh, well, James for the least assists, so James under assists, and we do see him right here for assists, so LeBron James. Ooh, I actually love that. All right, so you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at right here. Under assist, last 5-0 with Doncic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they don't allow very many to his position. Man, I'm 7.5 assists. LeBron James under. We're taking that. Let's look at some injuries. Without Hachimura, Kleber's been out for a minute. Yeah, still only had three assists that game. We're taking LeBron James under assist. That's another play of the day, boys, for... Now we're going to do some line shopping real quick. Braun, 18 points away from 50K. Interesting stat. Hold on. Hey, Kobe, I'll check that out. Let's get money. Appreciate that, brother. All right, I'll check that out, Kobe. In a second, we'll look at his points. That's a very interesting stat. And this is what this is for, this community. You guys have great, you guys have great insight. Or some people, follow some teams religiously and can give great insight, or they see stuff like that. And then we can all hopefully profit off of it, right? So... under 7.5 assists. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a little bit of line shopping though. So Yeah, it's at minus 132, so we'll still take it. Oh, well, hold on. It's on FanDuel for minus 132. We're going to look at... We're looking at ESPN now. Oh yeah, minus 125. We're taking this. Done. Got him for minus 125, and he was 118. So, and then here is sweet. All right, now we're taking a look at LeBron James points. Ooh, 28. Okay, so, well, one last thing in research. We're doing, so the Lakers offense right here, 14th in assists. The Clippers defense is decent at defending assists. So yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Like in the whole bigger picture of the game, Lakers offense 14th for assists, and then the Clippers defense are 6th in defending assists. So much better. And LeBron James 18 points away. His line's sitting at 26.5. We're gonna look at defense versus position. Make sure he's not on here for assists. He's not on here for points. Let's go up here. Yeah, I don't see him on the overs either. All right, so basically, James, let's pull this over here for you guys. All right, 28. Let's look at like what he typically does. Okay, 80% last 5. He hit it. 28. There is some action on the under though. If you see that, minus 120 here. I wonder why. 19th, but 10th against him recently. 20th. Don't love the defense versus positions, but yeah, like 18. If you put that in a ladder, I'm sure he's got to hit that, and maybe they'll stop the game for it like they did the last time he hit over a stat. I don't know, but interesting. Let's keep pushing. All right. We did James assists and James assists. So Finney Smith for points. Don't see him down there. Hayes for rebounds. And Hayes for assists down here. So nothing crazy. So the Lakers allow second least rebounds to power forwards. Kawhi Leonard. Rebounds. Yep, I don't see Leonard down here for rebounds. And then Zubac for threes. They allow the least threes to Zubac recently, and the 4th least threes this season. I don't know if Zubac shoots a whole lot of threes though. Nope. Yeah, so that is, I see unders. Last game, let's get into it. I appreciate you guys watching. If you're still here, like, subscribe. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, let me know what you like, what you don't like, so we can refine it, make it better, and obviously provide value. If you guys like this, let me know. So last game of the day. Wolves at Suns. So the Timberwolves are 30-28 against the spread. Suns are 33-25. Total slightly high at 227.5. Suns are favored by 1.5 at home. The Wolves are 33-28 to the over. Suns 31-29 to the over as well. Going over here, Wolves are 5th in power rankings. Suns are top 10 in offensive efficiency. Wolves aren't much worse, 13th. Defensive efficiency, Wolves are 6th, whereas the Suns are bottom 5 in defensive efficiency. Wolves also should out rebound them, with their rebound percentage being 13th best in the league, and the Suns are 23rd. Moving down here. Both teams are around the same. Wolves offense 20th. Suns defense 22nd for points scored and points allowed. They're, middle of the league for a lot of these stats. But the Wolves offense, 6th in 3-point attempts, 5th in 3 points made, shooting pretty well beyond the arc, whereas the Suns defense doesn't defend very well, bottom of the league in both of those categories. Onto the Wolves defense, 6th in points allowed, 13th in rebounds allowed, 5th in assists, and 4th in 3 points made. So top 5 and really a lot of those, top 10 and right outside top 10 in a lot of those categories. And the Suns offense, doing pretty good themselves, right outside top 10 in points scored, not good in rebounds, 25th and 10th for assists, 7th for 3-pointers made. Now going on to projected starting lineups from RotoWire. Looking at this. So Edwards out, Gobert out. We know that. Those two have been out for a minute. I think Caleb Martin also has been out for a minute. Morris is a game time decision. Bradley Beal's also a game time decision. Anthony Edwards likely to play. Julius Randle, game time decision. So hasn't stepped on the court since logging 10 minutes over the Jazz and missed an entire month of February, but ready to return to action Sunday. But he might be ready to return to action. If he isn't deemed ready to return, Jaden McDaniels would remain as a starting power forward. So questionable. If he does play, he's going to be on minute restrictions. So most likely being out for an entire month. So with that being said, let's go to defense versus position. Looking at the overs here, Minnesota, see if anything overlaps. Booker for threes, that does overlap. So we're going to take a look at that. All right. 80% last 5, averaging 3.6 in that time frame. Minutes 37.6 last 5 compared to 37.3. So it's a little bit more than usual. 3-point attempts, he's looking at 8.8 recently, whereas on the season 7.8. So he's averaging more threes as well. And if we go to the bigger thing here, Suns offense on 3 points, 7th in 3 points made, but the Wolves defense is 4th in defending 3-pointers, right? Don't love the way that looks or sounds, so could be tougher to get him to get it, especially the fact that he only averages 2.4 versus them, and the last time he played him, he only got 2 off of 7 attempts. The time you see 6, he had 13 attempts, so that was a big game. Yeah, 67% though on shooting guards versus for 3 points made. Last 10. Recently, though, that was recently 67%, and you're looking at 58% on the season. How many of them? What is his line? 2.5? Is that what we're looking at? So, yeah, 2.5. A little action on the over at -120. Don't hate it. I really don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Third. Oh, where this is unders. Yeah, no, I'm not taking that for the unders. So I apologize for starting with unders, boys. Let's go to the... There we go. A lot more stats here. Yeah, so looking at this, Phoenix. All right, DiVincenzo for points, rebounds. I see him down there for rebounds. Let me restart the app. Absolutely ridiculous. And still not showing. So we're going to move on. McDaniels for assists and McDaniels for assists down there. So, all right, Jay McDaniels under minus 184, 60%, kind of hitting 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. Don't love that. Yeah, not a big fan. So, we're going to go to we're going to Randall for threes. If he does play it, we're going to stay away from that. So Reed for points and rebounds. And we see Reed for points. All right. 80% last 5. Head-to-head doesn't hit well at all, so we will also stay away from that one. Now back to the unders for the last game of the day. Minnesota. So Booker, Durant. We already saw that. So Durant for points, and we don't see it for points up there. Richard for assists, and we see Richard for threes here. So, and McDaniels for rebounds. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's the end of the video. Like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the flip.